breaking posture on our opponent. One way to do it, if his hands are not gripping our belt and his hands are simply up here, bring my hands inside, break out, and then bring my legs forward to off-balance my opponent. So this off-balancing with your legs is critical. It's not just done with the upper body. Okay. So his hands are on my belt. Okay. So one way I can do it is using two hands against his one. So I come underneath, raise my hip, and then pull up with my hands as my hip drops. So there's this opposing motion happening. So he's gripping there, I come underneath, I raise my hips up, and then pull as my hips drop underneath. It's very difficult for him to hold on. Okay. So let's also look at some other ways of breaking posture. Obviously, you can use your hand to insert for the choke, and then this is not enough. You really need to use your legs, climb up, pull him into you with your hand and your legs. So you might break him down a little bit forward, down, and then pull him forward with your legs. Okay. But against a resisting opponent, these can be very difficult. So other ways of breaking posture include, like what we discussed before with Kimura. I need to break his posture. I break him forward by using my leg and then inserting here. Or, and this is very powerful, I use my hand and insert to the inside of his arm. I clasp my hands together, folding my thumbs over, drop my forearm, and then pull this into my chest. Okay. So that works whether his hands are on the ground or if his hands are in my belt. Sometimes it's difficult, especially if he locks his elbows in. So right now, there's very little space for me to work that. My hand can't insert. So I cup to the outside of his elbows and pull out, like so. So I always want to be pulling those elbows away from his body because they're very strong inside. So I come up, I pull his elbows out. Once his elbows are out, then I insert my arm, come over, pull this to my chest. Then I can start to move my hip away and work a technique. The opposite side. So his elbows are in. Boom. I come to the outside of his elbow, pull it out. From here, I can dive my hand inside, clasp my hands together, pull this to my chest, and then I start to work out and take the technique. Okay. So breaking posture from the guard is critical. So in review, his hands are on my chest, come up and out, pulling forward. His hand is on my belt. I come underneath, raise my hips up, pull, and drop my hips. His hands are on my belt and inside. I need to get inside of this elbow and pull it out, like so. If he's just straightening his arms, and I can't break his posture with my legs, then I use one of my arms to insert, the other one goes on top, pull this to my chest, and break him down. Okay, let's work on that for a while. Okay, Jim, so we're going to work into a few submissions from breaking down posture. And I think one of the most powerful ways is to do this two-on-one with the arm. So I insert my arm, I come around, see how I move my torso to the side. Clasp my hands together, bring his arm into my chest. I put my foot on the ground. I move out to the side. And once is good, twice is a little bit better. Put my foot on his hip, drop my knee over his shoulder. So here, I'm almost in position. I raise my arm up so his arm slides right in between my shoulder and my neck, so it's trapped here. Then I locate his elbow, put my elbow on top, reinforce, and then do a side crunch. Okay. So again, now here I come inside, come to the side with my hip. Once is good, twice is good. Foot on his hip, and I drop my knee. This prevents him from posturing up. I still need to adjust his arm though, so I move my elbow up. It slides in between my neck and my shoulder. position my elbow on top of his, reinforce, and then do a side crunch. Okay. Then from here, say he, if it slips out of here, boom, it ends up in this arm. That's okay. I continue to rotate over, throw my knee over his head, and then take the straight arm up from here. So again, those two in combination. So I come up, pull this to my chest, move it out to the side, foot on hip, drop the knee on his shoulder. I come here, take this, it falls out, then I throw the knee over and take the straight arm up. So another common reaction is, since they can't use this arm, they try to do something with the other arm. But that leads into a good opportunity. So I come here, and then Rick pulls back with that other arm, and that leads into the triangle. So I don't necessarily have to force him to do anything. I just position myself, wait for his reaction. He can't use that arm that's pinned to my chest, so he wants to do something with the other arm. So from here, I come in, boop, I'm taking this, I'm positioning myself, he drops that, so what do? I can extend my leg and then come up and around, or as he postures up slightly, I bring my knee in, come up, over, put my foot on the hip, swivel, grab my shin, kick up, squeeze my knees together, raise my hips and pull down on his head. So one last time for that. So I come inside, up here, I'm moving out, he wants to do something with the other. And then we take the triangle. If we end up here, we can always continue to hold, and then take the straight arm lock. Give that a go.